One very common idea about Islamic history is that it had what Orientalist historians like to call a golden age, roughly between 8th and 13th centuries. I think that idea is deeply misleading. Why? Because the moment you label a period golden, you imply something very specific: universal flourishing, social harmony, intellectual freedom, and political stability. But history is rarely that clean. Take the period often described as the peak of this so-called Golden Age, the reign of Caliph al-Maʻmūn. He is usually presented as its symbol and patron. And yes, it's true, he supported scholars, funded translations, and encouraged the study of astronomy, medicine, mathematics, and philosophy. Texts were translated from Greek, Persian, and Sanskrit, and scientific activity did expand. But that's only part of the story. At the very same time, large number of scholars and ordinary believers were being persecuted for their religious views. Doctrinal conformity was enforced, dissenting theological positions were suppressed. For many people, intellectual progress came at the cost of imprisonment, coercion, and sometimes death. So flourishing for whom exactly? If an age produces knowledge by silencing the majority, by crushing disagreement, and by spilling blood, can we honestly call it golden? This is why I think the idea itself is flawed. It's not just historically incomplete, it serves a narrative developed later that says Islam had one brief moment of brilliance, it ended in the 13th century, and it never recovered. And from there comes the implication that Islam needs the West to rescue it, revive it, or give it life again. That story tells us far more about Orientalist assumptions than it does about Islamic history.